Hello everybody, happy Sunday. Today, I got paper on me, it's meal prep day. So as always, I bite off more than I can chew, but here is my plan for the meal prep. And tomorrow you will not see a video because I am making a 50s dinner for a very special collab that is happening later this week that I'm super excited about, and I think you guys will love it. So let's see, here's what we're making. We are going to make some bacon just so that I have it ready for breakfast burritos in the morning. I have found that I no longer like to make them up and freeze them. I prefer just to have the bacon together because if you pop an egg in a bowl, sorry my mouth is broke, and you just put it in the microwave for 45 seconds, the egg is done. Then throw in a tortilla with some cheese for 10 seconds, the cheese melts, throw your bacon, your egg, wrap it. It's much fresher and it's not rubbery, like the eggs tend to get a little bit rubbery after being froze. So that's how I prefer to now meal prep that. I just want to have the bacon ready so that I can throw that together. Charles loves those almost every morning. I want to make some pumpkin pie bites, some dried apples, some apple cinnamon bites, brownie bites, some lentils, and all the bites that I just mentioned are actually like protein bites, so they're healthy things to send with the kids for snacks and for, you know, just munching. And then lentils I like to have on hand. That is the bean of the week, because I like to have a bean of the week kind of ready. Like last week we did a lot of black beans. This week a lot of lentils are going to happen. I love to have those because you can make lentil tacos, turn that into lentil sloppy joes, turn it into lentil meatballs. There's so much you can do with lentils, and having them ready and on hand is huge help. And then I want to make some homemade salsa, some homemade baked beans. I actually have navy beans soaking right now. Dark chocolate raspberry muffins, kung pao Brussels sprouts. And I want to have those just so that the days that I have leftovers in the house, but I don't necessarily have a vegetable to send, then I can dish that out and send it. Plus, I just love them. So I can eat that with rice too, and it's just ready to go, which I just love. And then comes rice. I want to have some rice prepped and ready to go. So I'm going to try this recipe that I've not tried. It is a crockpot pumpkin granola. I've never made granola in the crockpot before, so let's see how that turns out. And then chickpea and edamame snacks. And that is just going to be dried, and again, just something easy for everybody to grab and snack on. Along with, I always have nuts, fruits, vegetables, all that always on hand for everybody to grab, and they do very often just grab it. So that is the plan for today. So let's see what we can get done. Let's start with some of the longer stuff first. So I want to go on and start with probably the baked beans, the dried apples, and the crockpot granola. Let's give that a start first, because those take anywhere from 3 to 5 hours, and it is already 11 o'clock, so let's jump on that. Okay, so we're gonna go on and start with the pumpkin granola. So you need about 1 cup of pumpkin,
Who are you talking to?
a half cup of honey,
Vampire. First, we don't drink blood anymore. Vampires drink. I can't believe it's not.
You might need that statue spray.
2 teaspoons of cinnamon, an 1/8 teaspoon of cloves, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, and then a little bit of salt. Stir this together. We are going to add 5 cups of oats, 2 cups of, I'm just using all pecans, but you can mix it up with what it is you like. And we're gonna stir this up and get it good and coated in all this stuff. But it says what you need to do is put your lid on, but with a wooden spoon, you're gonna leave it popped open like that. so that there's still a little bit opening. That's gonna keep it from getting soft. All right, so next I'm gonna go on and get the apples in the dehydrator. So I like to use this handy dandy contraption to do my apples. Then cuts them into these perfect little slices, and I just pop them right on my dehydrator sheet. Okay, I have about 4 sheets of these. Well, not about, I do have 4 sheets of these, and I'm gonna pop those into my dehydrator. All right, I also went ahead and fried up my bacon. That way my oven is free because the baked beans are gonna have to be in there for about 3 hours. So this will be used for all kinds of stuff. This will be used for the breakfast burritos. It can be added to the baked beans. It can be put on a salad. I will stretch this 1 pound of bacon out to last all week. Okay, so now we're gonna go on and move into the beans. I'm gonna go on and put them into my pressure cooker. Now you could cook these on your stove for about an hour if you want to get them kind of soft, or if you have a pressure cooker, you just pop them in the pressure cooker and they're done a lot quicker. So let's go on and do that.
Maybe we should go to...
So all I'm gonna do is just put in my navy beans with some water. I'll put in a little bit more water. And I will strain it, so it's not a big deal if there's extra water, but it would be a big deal if there's not enough water. It's better to have more than too little. So this is how my pressure cooker works. So when I say medium, it means I'm gonna select the beans. And then I have a quick, medium, or well, and I'm gonna click the medium. And I'm just gonna let those go on and cook. Okay, I went ahead and just put my rice in my rice cooker. You guys, if you don't have a rice cooker, that is another one of my favorite pieces of equipment if you do a lot of rice like we do. I kid you not, I love my rice cooker. This is not my favorite of my rice cookers though. The kids got me this because my other one broke, which I will use until it breaks because the kids got it for me. But I would not recommend this one. I do not care for it very much. My old one was wonderful, and you could like leave the rice sit out and it kept it good for you for days. This has to go right into the fridge, and it's not my favorite rice cooker. So don't buy this one. It's just not my favorite. I don't recommend it. All right, now the rice is going. I got the granola going. I got the beans going. So after those beans are done, I'll do the lentils so that I have a bag of lentils done. I have Brussels sprouts setting out to thaw along with my edamame. So I'm letting those thaw before I can throw those into roast. I got the apples are going. So next, I think we're gonna go on and make salsa. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a can of these tomatoes right here. To that I'm gonna add cilantro. 2 cloves of garlic. Salt. Some green onions. And a half a purple onion. Some jalapeno fresh. I just had some of these already chopped up in my fridge. A little bit of cumin. 3/4 teaspoon of cumin. I did a heaping 3/4 because I love cumin. Some smoked paprika. This is my favorite. I get it from Trader Joe's. And you can also order that online. A little sugar. And the juice of 1 lime. I also love lime. And it's ready to go. Alright, so now let's go take a look at Charles. We're taking a break real quick because he's getting everything prepared for his friend to come over, and they got big plans for down here for today. I'm gonna whack him over. Tell the friends what you doing. Okay, now sorry, I had to cut him off so I could switch the camera around. Alright, go.
Well, right now I am just removing anything that was on the back side of this existing wall so that I can take this section of wall out.
So he is removing this part of the wall and this part of the wall.
Yep.
And this is just going to be an open hallway.
The door will get flipped to go right about here.
And then this is going to be a wall. And, well, you can see on the ground here, he drew it out. So this will open doors to a bathroom. Here will be the wall with another door going into the unfinished part that will be organized. So everything's kind of getting pushed over and put in
All my
spots.
stuff is getting condensed to make room for other things, so
Yes. And then
being forced to thin through it.
in here, I believe, are you still planning on putting my freezer and stuff right in here?
No, your freezer is going over here.
Oh, it is still staying
This
over
is
here.
getting
He
framed
changes
out.
it.
I may have to take the handle off, which is no big deal because you can just open it up. It's got clips on the sides to lock it, but that's going to be about 35 inches deep. So the plan is to have your freezer and the small refrigerator back in here behind 2 bifold doors when it's done. And this will open up, and then under the stairs will eventually get sealed off. And I'll make storage on the other side under the stairwell itself that's accessible from the general entertainment area out there.
Yep, which is also getting kind of moved around and redone. So, and somebody mentioned about fire hazard. So we wanted to say we will have a fire extinguisher in each of the rooms. The other room down here does not have an exit window either. But that way they can get through, because when they get in here,
Which this will be open.
which this will be open, it won't be a door.
Exiting right here.
They'll be exiting these windows here, and the couch is actually going to go on that side, so they could even stand on the couch to get out. It's just go out the window. So, and like I said, that room over there also does not have
An
a
exit.
exit
Because it's a basement.
window. So, also somebody else also asked about insulation. If you did not follow us on Blue Jay Acres, yes, there's even insulation in the ceiling. It's very well insulated. You just didn't see that part over here. And are we getting it approved so that it's to code and all of that?
Everything's good, and I have
Yes,
the
we are.
construction plans. So the walls have R13 in them on the exterior walls only. So if somebody's looking and they don't see insulation in these walls, it doesn't need it. Ceiling doesn't need it, but with all the noise directly upstairs, anything I can put in the ceiling to help dampen the sound is going to help, which is why I put the R13 in the ceiling too. I looked at some other acoustical ceiling options, and they're just very expensive. So for what this room really is, I'm not going to go that route.
So remember, we're not doing it cheap, but we're doing it as low cost as we can without cutting any corners.
Budget money.
Or, yes, we're not going expensive, but we're not by any means doing anything to make it unsafe or like it's not going to withstand time.
Everything is code, everything is good. Lights are wired on a separate breaker from the electrical, which isn't a requirement, but it sure is a benefit. Whenever you need to work on electric, you can still have your lights on, you know, or vice versa. So everything is all set up for that. So,
All right, babe, I'll let you back at it. I got to get back to cooking.
all right, I gotta rip this door out.
We'll check on you later. Okay, now we want to go on and finish up the baked beans. So I've got those. I'm going to add the other half of the onions that I had left over from the salsa. I'm going to add some liquid smoke, some garlic powder, a little kosher salt. Some molasses. Mustard. And brown sugar. Then I'm just going to transfer this to my baking pan. Add a little bit more water from the beans. Supposed to be enough water to cover the beans. And we're going to cover this with some foil and put it in at 300 degrees for an hour. Then we'll get it out, stir it, and put it in again for another hour and stir it. Hey guys, as Charles just came up and said, no turning back now, baby. So it's gone, the wall is gone.
So what's interesting is I don't think this wall is actually attached to the floor.
Huh.
So it should come out relatively
So,
easy if it's not.
One of the reasons he wanted to go on and do this wall first is because he is going to reuse that wood to turn it the other way to make the wall for the other side.
Part of it anyway.
Yeah.
Some of them will have to be longer than these. But nevertheless, I need them.
Awesome. He's not going to believe it when he gets here to help you. You're like, man.
Oh, now I got to clean it all up as I go.
You're the best.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm making some homemade baked beans. You love them.
I do. I'm the best mess maker.
Okay, so next we're just going to do the lentils. I seriously only have the lentils in here, and then I cover it with water. And I'm going to cook this on low. And the reason I'm going to do this one on low, okay, so I don't want those to cook as long, so I'm just putting those on low. And the purpose or reason behind that is because I'm going to continue to cook them through the week. I'll throw them in with some taco seasoning and heat them up. I'll do just different things with them. So I want those to, like I said, just kind of stay firm-ish, and lentils cook very fast. So now we can move on to something else. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the hummus. We're doing roasted red pepper hummus. And you guys, hummus is so easy to make. I'm dumping in a can of rinsed chickpeas into my blender here. I'm gonna add some of this tahini. It's just tahini. And then I'm gonna add some cayenne pepper, just a pinch. And some cumin, a clove of garlic, and then I have this jar of roasted red peppers. And I'm just gonna throw some of that in there. And the juice of 1 lemon. Add a little bit of water if you need to add water, so that it'll mix up really easy. Okay, and here it is. The hummus is all done. He's messing. Luke, leave it alone. He's messing with the dehydrator. This we love to use veggies, eat it with pita, which we will make some pita later this week. I have plans for that. What, honey?
Yeah, we're gonna make pizza.
Pizza? Pita. So, this just goes in the fridge, and we will use it, like I said, all week long. Alright, the lentils are done. So I got 2 big containers here of that. It's hot, so I'm gonna let it cool before I put the lid on and put those into the fridge. So, let's move on to, I think some of the protein bites next. Okay, for the no-bake pumpkin pie bites, we need some pumpkin, which about a half a cup. Then we need 2 cups of oats. A 1/4 cup of almond butter. And then a 1/4 cup of coconut flour. Maple syrup, about a 1/4 cup. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Vanilla. And then you would add a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. I do not have any, so I am just gonna add some nutmeg. Cinnamon. And cloves. Then all we're going to do is we're going to take them, roll them into a little ball, and then roll that into some cinnamon sugar mixture. So we're going to start off with 1 cup of dates. Just make sure you take the little pit out. Now we're going to add cocoa powder, about 3/4 a cup. A pinch of salt. I'm going to add some chopped pecans. And some chopped walnuts. This is what it looks like when you're done. We're going to roll these in balls and put them with the other ones.
I'm not at all interested in wow! Eat down that jetpack!
Alright, here these are, and I'm going to go on and just put these into the freezer. Okay, so I decided against the chickpea and edamame. I'm just going to do the edamame because I've got the chickpeas going already, and I've got plenty of beans going. So these will just be a nice salty snack. I'm just going to toss these with some olive oil and sprinkle a little salt, and then put them on the baking sheet and just bake them in the oven for a little while. Alright, and I also decided not to do the apple pie bites, like protein bites. Oh, looks sick. But that is because I forgot to turn on my dehydrator. So we're just going to have dried apple, which is totally fine. I just now turned it on. I thought I turned it on and I didn't. And that's totally okay. And I am definitely still making the Brussels sprouts. I have those still defrosting. But The muffins, I don't think I'm gonna get to because I'm getting tired and it's already 4 o'clock and I have sickness everywhere and I've got to take Ash to her ultimate frisbee team practice. So let's make the Brussels sprouts here in a few minutes and we can check on Charles again and then just kind of call that it for meal prep. All right, real quick, I wanted to just show you, here's the granola coming along, and it is coming along. And every half hour I have to stir it, and it takes like 3 hours or so, and then you lay it out on a sheet, and then it's gonna kind of dry. But you guys, I gotta tell you, I think this is not a do it again. Unless my stove is completely full, because otherwise it's done in like an hour in the stove versus 3 hours. But it has been nice to have my stove free, or my oven free, so that I'm able to cook the beans that take forever, which is kind of why I went this route, because I knew the beans had to be cooking on a slow temperature forever, and this would have to cook, so I just wanted to kind of free it up. But I don't know that I would suggest doing it this way, unless that was your reason, if that makes sense. All right, back to it. All right, and here is the granola. Now it's just cooling on a sheet like this, and see if it crunches up good. All right, and here are the baked beans. All right, guys, I told a lie. I am not gonna make the Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna call it a night because it's 6 o'clock. Here, baby. And this one, he is not drinking or peeing because he has a cold. So I'd stop and get orange popsicles. And yes, he looks a mess. But he's just not feeling good, so I'm not pushing him to do anything. He's barely eating at all, but I want him to drink, and he's not wanting to drink. So I had to run on my way back with Ash, get orange popsicles, because this one is his favorites, and he's on his 3rd one, which is great, because he's only peed like once today. But at least it's something, right? And we're gonna go down and take a last look at Charles, but I'm gonna make the Brussels sprouts, and I will make that tomorrow. And what else am I gonna make tomorrow that I forgot? I'm gonna make my 50s dinner that I'm doing for this collab, so I won't see you guys tomorrow. And I'll wrap this up with Charles here in just a minute. He said he already got part of the framework of a wall done, so let's go down and check that out. Okay, so here he is. And we absolutely have no wall. Okay, go, babe.
It just fell off. I don't know what happened.
All right, show what you've done. Oh, look, because I haven't been down since he put that up. So you did get it all framed out. That's the door. You gonna speak? You tell.
You're doing good.
That's all I know. Just that I could see.
So that's it. Goal for the rest of the night is frame it the rest of the way and get the doors in, and since it's an easy drywall throw up, probably get some drywall to seal it off so if the kids come down, it's not in the way. So.
And it's already 6, so you don't got a whole lot of time.
No.
So we will go on and wrap this up real quick. So we'll see all of you on Tuesday.
Bye all.
Bye everybody.